Welcome back to another edition of Sit Down Saturday. For those that are new to the channel, Sit Down Saturday is a discussion-based show, and it's the only video where I don't respond to the comments for the most part. So don't expect me to respond, but I will read them. That being said, the reason why I want to do this, I want to cover all of the third-party Dinobots and talk about the merits of all of them, because I actually think that they all have merit. The reason why I want to do this is because I still, to this day, get questions, PMs, emails, DMs, smoke signals. I got a telegraph wire one time, text messages, etc. with everyone asking the same question. And that question is, what Dinobots should I buy? In order to answer that question from now on, I'm just going to send this link. But hopefully this will solve some of the questions, because there is a place for all of these depending on your collection. Let's begin. We're going to start with the smallest. Iron Factory did a set of Legends. If you're in the market for Legends-based Dinobots, this is a set that might work for you. Why? 1, they're the right scale. 2, they come in one purchase. So you get all 5 in one purchase, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also, if you're building an IDW-inspired collection, now these are actually based off of War Within, but because they don't look quote-unquote D1, they'll work, in my opinion. They have futuristic Cybertronian modes. They're all sculpted beautifully. They're painted beautifully. They come with the appropriate accessories. It suffers from the same Iron Factory issues that most Iron Factory stuff suffers from, which is tolerance and clearance, but they'll work well. You get all 5 in one purchase, with the exception of the tolerance and clearance issues, and some of them aren't articulated as well as some of the other Iron Factory releases. They still should be able to satisfy all your needs at once. But what if you want a D1? In my head, it's like the Ermagerd face. I'm not sure if I'm doing a good impression of it. The X9 has you covered. Now the beauty of this, for one, they went with a yellow accent instead of a gold, which nobody else has done. Gives it a very D1 look, and add something different. They're also a bit larger, so they'll fit in with your mainline Legends from Hasbro, and they're a great option to have for that sized collection. They suffer from some transformation issues with clearances and tolerances as well, so be warned about that, but overall, it's a very decent set. You do have to buy them individually as well, but they're the only G1 option. Warbotron also made a Legend scale Grimlock to accompany their Computron that they released, but they're not doing the other Dinobots, so I don't feel like it necessarily should be included in this conversation. Now I know what you're thinking, but Uncle Scully, I have a Chug collection, and I want my Dinobots to be Voyager size or better, and I don't want it to look like, say, this. Don't worry, there's options for you as well. Option number 1, Toy World. Now these do combine. Should Dinobots ever combine? No. But these do. So if that's a thing for you, you could get these. Or you could get that. The nice thing about these is they're a good size for your Chug shelf. They're about a Voyager size. They also have a very G1 inspired vibe. Not 100% faithful, but definitely inspired. Closer to what we've been seeing with the last 3 waves of Powder Primes, Combiner Wars, and Titan's Return. A little bit of flair, still definitely G1. These aren't built incredibly well, but they'll do. The combine mode is kind of a throwaway. But then again, so is this. And it should also be noted that robot mode works a lot more successfully than dinosaur mode. So if you want them in dinosaur mode, this may not be the best option to go with. And it's not because of all of them. It's mainly because of this box with wings. Now, there is an option that works for dinosaurs, and that's G Creations. Their dinosaurs look great. They look very you got it. Toy inspired, but they also have a very modern, intimidating, menacing, strong, mature feel to them. They also will scale well, and they'll look great with the rest of your Chug line. That is to say, better than this. Now these also combine, and they combine a bit better, but should Dinobots ever combine? No. Especially not this. The nice thing about these is they look both good in robot and in dinosaur mode. The problem is they're a little bit more fragile. You have to use a bit more care, and there's a lot of translucent plastic in the dinosaur modes. That's a toy design influence, but at the same time can be considered unsightly, especially by this guy. But not as unsightly as this. Had a little Bane vibe to it. That's this. Mr. Wayne. And then you have Fans Project. Fans Project is able to offer you a 2-for-1 kind of. In one way, they offer you dinosaurs that have a way more stylized mode and almost seem like they could be dinosaurs on Cybertron. Like, what would that look like? Has a very stylized feel, a very Japanese feel, and a very Fans Project-y feel, if you know what I mean. They all look presentable in both dinosaur and robot mode. Some look better than others, but all of them better than this. But they look good as a team. You can get the throne for Grimlock, you can have a nice little shelf, and they fit a vibe that could also be used for your regular Chug line. Now, how would this fit in? This fits in more so with the generations, like the Chug being Classic Senkai Universe generations, like this very updated look. These have more in common with the designs of Transformers probably 10 years ago than the designs that we're getting now with Powder Primes. But they'll look great with them. That's not to say that they're all good products, and some are better than others. They're all built well, they all use good materials, and they all kind of get the job done. It's just where some things are not quite as well done. The other nice thing about this, if you're into it, is they offer you some bonus characters, 2 female characters, which for some reason to me seems cool. I give that a pass. Now, I wasn't crazy about the figure, but I like the concept of a female Dinobot, and I'm not sure why, but I do. And I like the idea of the team taking on more members as it matures and moves on. And in my mind, these Dinobots are kind of in the future from G1. The other thing that they offer is if you need a Melee Master gimmick, they offer that, but get it out of here. But they also offer a Diaclone version of all of the characters. This is important to some, not to me, but it is important to some. And it's another option and is doing something that none of the others have done, which is giving you a full set in a different pocket, which is ultimately okay. Nothing wrong with that. And lastly, we had the Planet X, once again offering a different approach and a different option for you, the collector, going for their War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron line. The line ended up faltering towards the end with the paddles, but at least you got a paddles. Somewhere down the line, you as an adult collector received a paddles, which is cool in and of itself. But it was obviously shoehorned into the line and not quite as strong as the rest. But for the most parts, they were both faithful to the game, to the spirit of the game, and to the deco of the game, while being fun and being strong and being well built with a few fragile pieces that you had to watch along the way. But for the most part, a really good set for a very niche collection, when the only option you had before was this. And now, you have this. And it's still better than that. Now we'll move on to Masterpiece. Now with Masterpiece, it should be noted that we're getting this Grimlock. This is also War Within inspired, and I doubt they'll do the rest of the line, so we should treat this the same way that we treat the Warbotron, and saying it probably doesn't count, but it is a thing. And it'll probably be great, because everything else they've done is great. And then we had the Bullsfire. That doesn't count, because nobody cares. So let's talk about the big two, the ones that get everybody excited. Fans Toys! The nice thing about this, I like the size. We'll take a look at the Sunbow chart here, and I believe the scale is in the eye of the beholder, but for me, this works better. It's the only third-party bots I've bought twice. I have one in robot mode and one in dinosaur mode out there. The nice other thing that they offer is they kind of can complement your Takara Grimlock if you put some booties on them in robot mode, or if you just have them in dinosaur mode. So it could save you one purchase. They look great in dinosaur mode, and they look very good in robot mode. They're built well with good materials, all sorts of paint, chrome, accents, and articulation. The main problem with these is inconsistencies across the line in terms of the choices of colors that they've chose, both for the red and the gold. And then the other thing being that a lot of us had to buy the slag twice because they ended up getting it better later on. But a nice other unique thing that they offer is a G2 stylization. They may not have done them all, but they at least did a few. And hopefully they'll do more if they didn't finish them. But once again, that's just offering another display option for a team that most of us love if we love this franchise. And then lastly is Gigapower, another Masterpiece scaled set. Now initially I wanted to do this video after the Gigapower toys were all done, but I'm not sure if tomorrow is promised. And it's an awful lot of tomorrows that it's taking for this company to finish the set. That being said, we've had 3 releases. I've liked 2, but no need to retread that open wound. The nice thing about these are they're huge. So if in your mind, the Dinobots should tower over the rest of the Autobots, this is the set you want to go with. They're also very stylized, which I like. I like all the line work. I like all the detailings. It gives it a very alive and almost organic feel to it, like it's a living thing. They're painted to the nines and both offer 2 options in chrome and in metallic, giving you, once again, another option. The dinosaur modes are heavily G1 toy inspired. So if you wanted a masterpiece set of Dinobots that relied more on the toy, which there are some of us that feel that way, which is why Takara has given us oftentimes and other third-party companies a toy head and a cartoon head, this would probably be the set that you would want. With the exception of Grasser, they're built very well, with hardy, beefy materials, and even including Grasser, they all have a very intimidating look when together. Their robots look amazing, their dinosaurs look good enough. But all of them better than this. They're also cheaper than the Fans toys, so that is also an allure on some of your pockets. Which one do I recommend over the other? Obviously, I have 2 sets of 1, so that should tell you. But if I was a more patient man, I would have definitely got the robots from Gigapower and the dinosaurs from Fans Toys. But I'm not patient, and I hate waiting. Get your ass in here, let's rock. So yeah, quick recap. Legends. You have a Cybertronian / comic homage that will work well with the Iron Factory.
Your G1!
Representation with DX9. For your Chug scale, you have a great looking set of robots that are built well and relatively fun to transform with Toy World. They don't look great in dinosaur mode, but some look better than others. And with G Creations, you have a very menacing, intimidating set of robots that look well, but they're also a bit kibbly. You might want to keep that in mind. But they're fragile, and you need to use caution. They also use heavy translucent plastics in robot mode as an homage to the toy, and you may not be into that. And then you have Fans Project, which offers both a Diaclone version, Melee Masters, and a futuristic Cybertronian stylized look. Plus 2 new bonus characters that have a very cool aesthetic. And you have Planet X for a very niche, very specific, but very well done and accurate set of War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron Dinobots from the video game. And then for Masterpiece, you have Fans toys that look great in dinosaur mode, and good in robot mode, and you have Gigapower that's a bit bigger, a bit more stylized, that look great in robot mode and pretty good in dinosaur mode. But all of them better than this. Or you can just get the G1 toys and call it a day, because they're still good. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.